Hi guys, today we're going to be making this. This is something that I made at the beginning of around mid-May maybe. It was, I came up with it before I went on my cross-country move because I wanted something small to carry, like my credit cards, my ID, my credit card, some money if I had some cash, and my phone. So I started it, like I said on the video, I started it just a simple pouch just for credit cards and money, but then I soon realized like I needed something. I didn't want to be like with this on my hand and my phone. So I wanted something that will carry everything in it. So I came up with this. It's very simple. I hang it actually from my ring, which is this thing that I always carry with me. But you could just use it with the wristband as well. At the end of the video, I'm like mentioning this, but I cannot find the strap that I cut for it. So I am showing it to you now at the beginning of the video. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. This is very simple, very fun to make. Excuse any errors that I do while sewing it, maybe like, or explaining it, because I'm getting back into this whole recording a video thing. It's hard. I mean, I'm not an expert on this thing, so I hope you learn something and enjoy the tutorial and you have fun making it. And if you make it and everything comes good, just come back here to the video and let me know under the comments. Bye guys. We're gonna need 4 pieces. Hold on. We're gonna need our front and our back. And if you notice, for my back I use vinyl, and then for my front, if you don't look at the slip pocket, it's made out of waterproof canvas. So we need a front and a back, and that measures 7 1/4 by 4 1/2. So one front and one back, 7 1/4 by 4 1/2. 2 pieces. And then you need 2 pieces for the lining, for the inside, the same size. So basically you need 4 pieces. I cut 3 out of waterproof canvas and 1 out of vinyl. And then for my slip pocket, this one is going to be yellow, kind of like a mustard color. That piece measures 4 1/2 by 6. So this piece is going to be coming in the front here, basically. Back, front. Okay, you're gonna need a piece of zipper tape, and the zipper tape, as long as you cut it like the same length or a little bit bigger than the 7 1/4, you should be fine. You can cut it a size 8 and you should be fine. And I came back from the sewing expo and I still have my stuff packed. So most of my stuff is in a little bag here. So bear with me. Okay. We're going to put that zipper first. Again, should have unpacked first before deciding to do this video, but I kind of was like, well, it's now or never. I have a little bit of time now. And again, the table from the sewing expo was thinner, so all my stuff is like, everything that I took, it's not the same. Okay, so we're gonna put our zipper pull on our zipper. Should be able to burn the edges. Do this one. And for some reason, let's see if the zipper pull is cooperating. It's crooked. Let's try this side. Yeah, this side is good, but I need it closed. So one more time. Telling you, when something comes out good the first time, usually the second and third it doesn't. But we got this. There we go. Now it looks straight. Let's start putting back stuff. I know I'm gonna need my scissors. Let me put them there. And I know I'm gonna need my ruler. There we go. For now. Just for now. Okay, so to finish the zipper, I cut a piece of vinyl. I'm not very picky with this, but we're gonna make sure we're gonna apply the vinyl on this side. You know, like your zipper is going that way, your vinyl needs to be on this side. Okay, you see the zipper? It closes this way, so we're gonna close it from here to here. It closes. So on this side we need to have that vinyl. So I'm just gonna cut a piece. I am not picky at all. As long as I have a straight edge, I'm okay. So I'm just gonna clip that in place. Because I don't want to do this trip. Like I usually stitch it. I usually stitch right sides together, turn it around. But this time I just want a double fold on the vinyl. I don't want the vinyl to be too thick. Want it as light as possible. So I just kind of folded it in there. And I don't need to be precise because I can cut it. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, we're going to take that out. And this is what I mean. Like I stitch something like that. And I don't worry about it. Because this I can trim. I can go really close to the edge. I'm just going to trim it the same size as my tape. There we go. So we have like a long thing. I don't worry. I just cut it the size I need. And that's it. No biggies. So we're going to make a tab like that. And now we're going to apply that to our front and our back. But before we do that, we're going to deal with this, with the pocket. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. It's kind of hard to get back into this whole making videos thing. I'm going to do a little edge on my pocket. This one might not stay that way, so I'm going to try to put some double side tape in this. So that way it stays down, hopefully. I kind of also want to stay down. There we go. I'm going to fold it. I'm folding about 1/2 inch. Might be a little bit less, or more so 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to top stitch that. And I like to do kind of 2 lines when I do the top stitching. And do one really close to the edge. And I do another one right next to it. I don't know, I think it looks cuter for some reason. But you can do one if you want, if you prefer. This is something that is up to you. But I really like how 2 lines look instead of 1. for some reason for me it looks more polished. So you have something that looks like that. See that? And now we're going to add this to our little, this one looks kind of crooked. I'm gonna put it in front of here. I like that. I think my phone is gonna fit there very well. I know I'm gonna take about 1/4 of an inch from the stitching. That looks good. So I'm gonna clip it in place and I'm gonna baste it in. Just around the border. Oops. I think I'm gonna lift that needle. Okay, so we're just preparing this panel to just sew a simple pouch. Now it's just the basic. I'm gonna mark my edge. Hold on, because this is a little bit. I'm gonna trim it to the side of my main piece. There we go. And we're gonna mark, you can mark 5/8 or 3/4. I'm gonna mark 3/4. I usually do the 5/8, but today I'm gonna just do 3/4. And you're gonna mark that on all of your pieces. Make sure it shows, because that's going to be a guideline, that marking. And I'm going to mark it on my lining pieces as well. This is a very cute little pouch. It's just very simple, but very practical. I marked all of my pieces, my 2 front and back and my 2 front and back from the lining. And now it's as simple as taking my front, which is this one, and putting my, aligning my zipper tape right there. You can baste this if you want, but I don't like basting it because it's just so little and so simple. And kind of remember that I put my clips the other way around. Okay, so my zipper is closing from here to there, and I have it right on the line where I marked my 3/4. See? And now I'm going to put my lining piece on top of it. You see my marks are there as well. So I'm going to put it on top. Pretty simple. Not a big deal. I don't like this. I usually cut my zipper exactly the size that I want, and I fold the ends and I put it from mark to mark. That's the way I like to do it. But for the purpose of this video and being quick, because this is a quick way, I'm going to not do it that way. So we're going to be stitching at 1/4 of an inch from the very beginning to the mark. We'll see now. I'm going to reduce my stitch length to 3, because that's the length that I like to use. And I'm going slow. I don't have to rush this. I'm gonna remove my zipper from where it is, my zipper pull. Okay, I'm getting close to that mark right there. I just hit the needle down on my little mark that I had. So now this piece of zipper, I'm gonna open it up, lift my presser foot, and pull that all the way to the side and keep on stitching. There you go. You can secure your stitching by going again here to secure that even better, but this is so small, I don't worry about that, to be honest. I just make sure I cut my excess, burn those edges of my zipper tape, and then I'm going to top stitch. And in this case, I'm going to do it, I usually do my top stitch like this, putting my lining this way and only top stitching my front. But in this case, I'm going to do it the other way. Why? Because I have this little, the opening of my slip pocket is here, and usually I have tried it this way. And usually the needle has a little bit of trouble in here. So I do my top stitching for this side like this. Which I know for many of you, it's not going to be any trouble because you are right-handed. I'm a lefty. I always have to have it the other way. But for this instance only, I'm going to do my top stitching like this. And it's something that I'm practicing still because, I don't know, I gotta get used to it. Doing it this way. Sometimes it gets a little wobbly just because I'm not used to. Let's see if it didn't come out that bad. Yeah, that's good. My scissors. There we go. So now you have that. You have your front done. I like to finger press here. That's your front. Now we're going to just do the other side. We're going to again align my mark with my zipper tape here. And we're going to clip this in place. And this one is going to go easier because this doesn't have that slip pocket thing. So it's supposed to go smoothly. And then we're going to get those two mark pieces that I have again. That piece that has those two markings, and put it right side together. If you feel like you need to put some double-sided tape for this, you can do it. But I've been sewing for so long that I really don't find the need for it. Again, at 1/4 of an inch, which is in my case the edge of my foot. Just gonna make sure I don't have my zipper pull there. And this time around, I'm going on top of my waterproof canvas. Move my zipper pull out of the way. Keep on going. And I'm gonna go again to that little mark that I did, 3/4 of an inch away from my side edge. Just gonna go right there, lift my presser foot, and then pull this little zipper tape tail out of the way over here. And then I'm gonna keep on stitching. I'm gonna back stitch in there for a little bit. that excess. And then we're going to top stitch, and now I can top stitch the way I like it, which is this way around. I have my edge to the right. This is the way I like to do my top stitching. And this should go really smooth because there's no too many layers whatsoever. And here we go. So now that we have this, you can even simplify your little pouch by having used a zipper pull that had like a little hole in it. But I really like that little heart because I'm all about hearts. So I'm going to add a little piece. This is 1 inch by 2 inches long, I believe. Yep, 2 inches long. I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided tape in there. And this is something that I like to do. You can do a longer one, but I'm really picky with the length of that little, I call it an ear. This is like a little ear. So I really like to have the little ear really close to the pouch. I don't know why, but I really like, it looks nicer. I don't know, more like elegant or something like that. But I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Just gonna okay. When I put my little, in my case, I'm not gonna put anything because I'm using one of these. But if you can use a D-ring. If you're using a D-ring, a regular D-ring, you're gonna put your ring and you're going to secure this in place. And then this is how you're gonna be attaching it. I'm gonna attach it from the front where my pocket is. Like if this is looking towards me, I have right now my zipper pull closed on my left. So I want my little ear like about 1/2 inch below that edge. So I'm gonna clip it in there so I can show you. And I'm just gonna put it only from the top, not on the lining. I'm not gonna put that on the lining. So you see where I have it? If I have my lining pieces like this, this is what I have my little D-ring. And only on that front top piece, not on my lining. Okay, so because I don't like to have, because I'm using this, I can remove it and I'm not gonna have any trouble. I love these O-rings, love them. So I'm just gonna close this so it doesn't open. But remember, if you have a D-ring, it needs to be attached first. Okay, I don't like to have a big, huge loop once I turn it right side out. So I really put it close, baste it close. And I just leave just enough for that ring to go through it once I'm done. So I know I want I'm gonna be stitching this 1/4 inch all the way around. So I'm gonna stick out a little bit. a little bit out. And then I'm going to hold it in place, take it to my machine, and I'm going to baste it in there because I don't want that to move anywhere else while I'm doing this step that's coming. So basically, I don't want like a huge loop. I want a little, and this one, I consider this long. So yes, I'm that picky. I am that picky. I'm going to clip the sides together now. And the reason I used, I'm going to make sure my zipper is open. Mashing my sides, my corners. And this is such a small pouch that I don't need to be stitching. Oops. I'm going to leave this open, the bottom. That's how small this is. There's no need to be trying to get fancy with the corners because this is just something very practical. You can fold a little bit here. And I do go a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch when I'm stitching this on the lining. And then I kind of go in to 1/4 when I get to the outside. You see, this one is fighting me because it has that big piece. I'm gonna go to 1/4 here. If you feel like you're not gonna go, that it's gonna go past the where you need it to be, just hand crank it and you should be fine. Okay, I've been sewing at 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm just gonna go, if this lets me, I'm gonna go again, if this lets me. I am about to purchase another machine and I can't wait because it's gonna make my life easier. Here we go. Okay, so you're supposed to have all your sides stitched but the bottom. And I like trimming this. I like trimming the lining and my sides in here. I usually leave that in there to just make sure it's not going anywhere. There we go. And I trim the corners in here. Just a little bit. That looks good. And now you turn it. Make sure, a reason why I use this part being waterproof canvas is because it makes it everything smoother, like thinner. Because I'm already using for the slip pocket, I'm using vinyl. So that's gonna be like, if I use vinyl plus vinyl, you might be able to do it, but it might be a little bit harder. So I prefer to make my life easier and use waterproof canvas for that, and then combine it with a contrasting lining vinyl, and it looks cute. Okay, so we're just turning a little pouch here. Gotta be, don't stress yourself too much. And you see, this one still got a little bit a little bit longer for my liking, but I know that ring is going to fit through it easily. Okay, I'm going to use my little turning tool that I have, because this needs to be sharp in here. I'm not stressing it, like pulling it too much. I don't want it to be too stressed. Same with this side. I'm gonna do it with my finger because it's a big chunk. There we go. And what I like about this pouch is you don't have to interface, you don't have to use too many materials, which is kind of cool. And I should record this with the tablet so that way I could show you how the phone looks in it. You're gonna have to imagine it, but this fits. My phone is the iPhone 11, not the Pro. So if your phone is bigger than that, you need to alter the dimensions. You might want it a little bit longer. Instead of 7 1/4, you can put it 7 1/2 by 4 3/4 instead of 4 1/2. So basically, measure your phone, because these measurements are for my phone, and I have an iPhone 11. So if you have an iPhone 11, this is going to work for you. If you don't, then I'm sadly to inform you that it might not be fitting your phone perfectly. So right now I'm finger pressing this edge because we're going to close this shut. That's our last step. Our last step. I'm going to clip it in place. Please don't forget to take the air out of your bags. They look kind of funny if you don't. If you sew them and you haven't done that, they're gonna look funny. Okay, I'm gonna stitch until midway because I like to add one of those labels that I buy from Lauren. This one says, I'm handcrafted, take care of me. I'm gonna put it right there in the middle. I didn't add a tag. I think you could add a tag, like a metal plate, but again, this is so little that I find like a metal plate is gonna be too much for it. And I have these little charms with my name on it that I can just hang from the sides and make it look cuter. So no biggie in there. Push your lining inside completely. Kind of like to put this stuff in my lap to make it work. I love that tool. I love this tool. Supposedly to be for self-defense, but it's my turning tool. Okay, so here it is. So you can hang it from your little loop thingy. And you can, if you have like a keychain that you like to hang it from, I have this one. So I just, mine opens as well, so I can do that. Click it in place, and there you go. I have one little wristlet thing. Or you can just make a strap, which I got the materials here to make a strap because it will look so cute with a strap as well. I don't know where it went. But yes, you can just make a little strap for your wristlet, for your wrist and hang it from there, and then use it just like that. It's pretty cute. And these are the little tags that I was telling you about. You can just take the tag out and put it here. And no need for a nameplate. But you could put a nameplate if you want, or like here. I think I added to one and I put it on top of here. But it didn't convince me because my phone goes in there. So anyways. But that's it. I hope you like it and that you make one. And if you make one, please tell me how it goes. See you next time. Maybe with less awkward videos as we move along. Bye, guys.